I grew up knowing God, in and out of churches a lot. Ever since I can remember, my parents were divorced, and we didn't really have a father figure in the house until my stepdad came in when I was 7 years old. The transition was really tough. It really affected the family. It was rocky, and there was a lot of arguing, and I didn't have a personal relationship with God. I would be at church, and when I was there, I was listening, but I guess I wasn't really hearing. I just didn't want to be there. So I sat down with my parents, and I had to have a hard conversation with them and tell them that I didn't want to keep going to church because I could feel myself pulling away from God. After that conversation, I started doing what I wanted to do, living for myself, and that took me into really dark places mentally. And during that time, my family started coming to the bridge regularly, and I saw the change in my household, my mom and my stepdad's marriage. It was a lot better. There was less arguing, less fighting. My mom was really influential during that time. She had a ton of people praying for me, from the church to my family. Just everyone that I knew or people who knew of me were praying for me. During that time that I was away, some of those decisions that I was trying to make didn't go through. Looking back now, I know that was, their prayers and God's hand protecting me and helping me from making worse decisions than I could have been making. I finally got to a point where I wanted to go to church on my own, and I didn't tell my mom or anybody in my family. I just wanted it to be a decision that I made on my own without any influence of anybody else. What brought me back to the church is a buildup of all those things. Seeing my stepdad especially, how he really stepped up into that father figure and how he stepped up as a husband and how God affected him really changed my perspective. I woke up and I was excited for the first time to go to church just to learn. In service that Sunday, Pastor Scott was preaching about faith, and it was tailor-made for me. One thing that stuck with me was when Pastor Scott said that it takes a lot of faith to believe that there isn't a God. And then I started to think, well, I guess I had faith this whole time, but it was in the wrong thing. And that's when I realized that I can have faith in the right thing, which is God, and just put my trust in Him. And throughout that service, towards the end, Pastor Scott started saying the word believe, and that was the thing that I would tell people, was that I have trouble believing. And he said it like 10, 12 times, and every single time that he said it, I felt like God was telling me, believe, Nate, believe, I'm telling you, you're here, you came for me. That was when I made the decision to give my life to Christ. Everyone around us, my family, they all started celebrating, and they were all happy. We were rejoicing because it was made brand new in Christ. After that, I started really trying to get myself into church and volunteering, so any opportunity I could, I would take it. In our house, I think my mom, my stepdad, myself, we kind of had a bigger influence on my brothers as well. That's one of the things that I value most because I really care about my brothers, and I just love the way that God worked through us to get to them, and to see the impact in our house as a whole has been really amazing. My name's Nate, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.